Programming, COSC 3081, Chapter 1, World Wide Web. What is Internet? The network is formed by the cooperative interconnection of a large number of computer networks. Network of networks. No one owns the Internet. Every person who makes a connection to the Internet becomes a part of the owner. There is no central administration or central authority to the Internet. What is Internet actually? A community of people who use and develop the network, a collection of resources that can be reached from those networks, a setup to facilitate collaboration among the members of the research and educational communities. Worldwide, the connected networks use the TCP/IP protocol. Key milestones in evolution: 1950 ARPA, Advanced Research Projects Agency. 1970 ARPANET creates precursor to Transmission Control Protocol, TCP. 1971 Universities added to NET. Telnet and FTP are available. 1972 First electronic mail message sent. 1973 ARPANET connected to England and Norway. CONT 1974 TCP starts being used for communicating across a system of networks. 1982 USDOD starts building defense data networks based on ARPANET technology. 1983 ARPANET split into ARPANET and MILNET. Internet now in place. TCP IP standardized. 1986 National Science Foundation, NSF, stated another network. ENFSNet. ENFSNet is a system of regional networks which were connected over a backbone network. CONT 1991 New applications like Archie and Gopher were released. It is very similar to the World Wide Web. 1992 The Internet linked more than 17,000 networks. There were about 3 million hosts. 1993 The World Wide Web application were launched. 1995 Interconnected network providers starts offering services. About 30 million users. Application World Wide Web, WWW, Telnet File Transfer Protocol, FTP, Electronic Mail, Email, Usenet News. Gopher Internet Relay Chat, IRC. World Wide Web. WWW. World Wide Web, WWW, it is the latest revolution in the Internet scenario. The main feature of WWW is that it allows us to share multimedia documents between machines containing text, pictures, audio, clips, video, moving objects, animation. Now what this World Wide Web is actually is? It is basically a huge collection of documents which are interlinked. Billions of documents which are linked in any possible ways. CONT, where do the document reside? On web server, also on HTTP server. They are typically written in hypertext markup language, HTML. Document get formatted / displayed using web browsers, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Netscape, Mosaic, etc. Client-server model. Overview of client/server architecture. Client-server model. This is a standard model for developing network applications today. As the name implies, there is the notion of a client and also the notion of server. A server is a process that is offering some service. A client, in contrast, is another process which is requesting the service from a server. The server and client may not be running on the same machine. They may be on different computers altogether. Typically, server is the program which starts first and waits for requests from clients. CONT. Database client, web server, database server, Internet. CONT. Typical scenario. First, the server process must start on some system. The server process must initialize itself and then it goes to sleep waiting for a client request. Client process starts, either on the same system or on some other system, sends a request to the server. When the server has finished providing the service, it can go back to sleep waiting for the next client request, and this process will repeat indefinitely. The process repeats. How the web works. How the web works. When you enter something like yahoo.g unknown anot August 19, 2025, 12:17 and 5 seconds +03:00 oeagle.com, the request goes to one of many special computers on the Internet known as domain name servers, DNS. When you want to view any page on the web, you must initiate the activity by requesting a page using your browser. The browser asks a domain name server to translate the domain name you requested into an IP address. The browser sends a request to that server for the page you want, using a standard protocol called Hypertext Transfer Protocol or HTTP, and returns to web browser. What is DNS? A global database system for internet addressing mail and others using DNS is that using names rather than addresses, so it is much easier to use and to memorize. In the DNS there is a concept domain and subdomains. What is HTTP? Stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. The HTTP protocols are protocol which the web clients, browsers, are interact with web servers. It is a stateless protocol. This means no history is maintained. Every time a request is sent, a fresh connection has to be established. It allows transfer from one document to another using hypertext. By clicking a link you can go to some other place. CONT, web clients and web servers communicate via HTTP protocols. Basic steps: client opens socket connection to the HTTP server. On port 80, client sends HTTP requests to server. Server sends back response. Server closes connection. HTTP is stateless protocol. HTTP request format: a client request to a server consists of request method, path, portion of the HTTP URL, version number of the HTTP protocol, optional request header information, blank line, post or put data if present, get. Most common HTTP method returns the contents of the specified documents, places any parameters in request header, can also be used to submit forms. The form data is URL encoded and appended. The get command URL cont head returns only the header information of the specified document used by clients to determine the information like file size, modification date, server version, etc. Post used to send data to the server to be processed in some way. Basic difference from get: a block of data is sent along with the request. Extra headers like content type and content length are used for this purpose. HTTP response: an initial response line, also called the status line, consists of three parts separated by spaces. HTTP version: a three-digit response status code, an English phrase describing the status code. HTTP/1.0200 OK, HTTP/1.0404 not found. Three-digit status code: 1XX indicates informational messages only, 2XX indicates successful transaction, 3XX redirects the client to another URL, 4XX indicates client error, 5XX indicates internal server error. Web design fundamentals. Web design, technical definitions. A web page is a single HTML document. A website is a collection of related web pages. Designing a good website requires more than just putting together a few pages. Layout of web pages is very important. Poor layout makes difficult navigation, hard to locate information on page, visually unappealing, not attractive. Some guidelines use the appropriate balance of images, color, and space. Too many images on one page, or large images, will be slow to load. Put sufficient white space between texts. Use color judiciously. In other words, don't go overboard with color. Just because you can make every cell in a table a different color doesn't mean you have to. A little color in the form of bullets, etc. Fine white or a soft light color is best for the background. CONT, have a common look and feel for each page. In a website there should be a sense of uniformity. Perhaps there is a common graphical element and color on each page. Give the page a title, header. The title shows up on the top line of the website when viewed in a web browser. Having no title indicates the designer doesn't know beans about web design. CONT, utilize a common scheme for page navigation, appropriate navigation. Once you get on a page, there should be links back to the home page or other pages on the website. No links back to a home page indicates lack of skill in web design. A page with no link to the home page is known as an orphan page. Have a method for contacting the author or owner of the web page. To use under construction signs. This implies you are not on the ball. Good web designers are always making changes, so a page should really always be under construction. Steps to design a well websites. Have a goal, target your audience, create a plan, select a web service provider, try it out, maintain it. Have a goal for your website. What are the things that you want to accomplish? Review your mission statement. Do you want your website to accomplish all or some of those things? The more goals, the more difficult the task becomes. What information do you need or want to provide? Identify your target audience. Who is the information for? Do you have more than one audience? Can you serve them all with one website? What are the information needs of your audience? What are their habits, characteristics, culture, technical capabilities, etc. are